Hey everyone, Obey the Papaya here. If you enjoy the video, please leave a like, and if you're interested in more, don't forget to subscribe, as it motivates me to keep making content. If you disliked it, please let me know in the comments. Extra information or the script may be in the description. All right, so let's get started with a little bit of a jungle VOD to just understand the beginning of jungle to help you in mid lane and other lanes, so that way we can get a more closer, in-depth timing outlook on when is a jungler possibly going to gank you. What are they doing? Let's really try to focus in on this, right? So right now, one of the things, right? Jungle timer red is going to start at 1 minute and 25. So 1 minute 25, you expect the enemy jungler to be at their jungle. They could be at blue buff, but they're at red because it is a stronger buff to take. It is 99% of the time the buff that they're going to take. In lower elo and just average games, it's probably what you're going to see is you're going to see basically a full clear. So right now, a minute 25, we're going to see Quang. And we're also going to take a look at Crunch over here. He's down over, let's see, he's going to come up there. I think he's putting a ward at 2 buff, at blue buff. We're going to start seeing him start taking it.
Minions
So,
are spawning.
all right. So while they're taking it, we're going to speed it up just a tad bit. So once it spawns at a minute 25, you're going to see that most junglers will take it at about a minute 47. So from this point on, you can expect a minute 47. He's almost done. Quang is a little bit in a weird spot currently, but the crunch has finished. A minute 47 is usually the average timer for junglers to take their buffs, right? So from this point on, they're going to be a level 2. So you can expect a possible level 2 gank. In the mid lane, you should be watching. This is why in the mid lane, usually a lot of times you tend to throw a ward down over here. You would throw a ward down right in this location to try to get vision on 2 camp. One, it helps you in case they try to do a gank onto you, a level 2 gank. And it gives you just vision to get awareness on the jungler. But this area is very popular now, and people know about this, especially once you start climbing up and the people who watch PCC and whatnot. Sometimes you will have the jungler come here and meet you, and then if they're in comms with the mid laner can come in and meet you here. So what I started to do as a mid laner is I will try to be selfish and I will try to put a ward down around this area. This area at least provides 2 things, all right? This area is going to provide me rotation if he does come this way for a level 2 gank. It's also going to be able for me to see a possible river buff take. So river buff spawns at 3 minutes. A ward here lasts 84 seconds. All right, at level 1. 84, you should be level 2, so it should be 86. No, you'll still be level 1 because it's first wave. You need one more minion to level up. Getting a ward around here, it will last till 3 minutes and 11 seconds. What does this provide you? Vision if a jungler comes here. There is a chance you can come in and take it 20 gold by destroying the ward, but that just still shows you that he's in position here. That you should be scared here, all right? At the, after he takes his 2 camp, he might come down here to take a look. So at 311, that's how long the ward's going to be. You can know if you can look into prioritizing river buff here. If you have vision of him, then as a mid laner, you would look into a rotation here. And for off lane, off rolls, if you're in off lane here, in this case on right lane, you're going to know that he is indeed on left lane. He's going to take time to go to blue. So if I get a level 2 advantage, I am very safe and comfortable in wanting to put some pressure on my offlaner that I'm against. Because level 2 is fought out for in off lane. Level 2 is also fought out for in dual lane. All right. So from here, let's take a look at Crunch still. Crunch is going to have the faster overall clear, it seems, right? And this is timing of usually, sometimes they go for 2 camp, sometimes they take 4 camp. The overall clear for a jungler is, the overall clear it takes is a minute and 5 seconds on average, all right? That's how long it takes for a full clear jungle. So we can see him, he took it about 2 minutes and 5 seconds, 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Let's take a look at what our Quang's doing. Our Quang just finished his 4s, so he's already starting. So this is an idea to see, you can see what kind of jungle you're going against and whatnot. So here, this is when you start to see some expectation. Now, this is going to be a large waste of time for Crunch, right? To sit here and try to take this river buff. He's wasting 30 seconds of his time. The chance of Crunch Now I don't know this. The chance of Crunch going in for this river buff is very low. And look at that, he didn't. So in terms of this ward right now, he hasn't come here. I know it's overall safe. I should expect after this minute clear, a minute and 5 seconds from a minute 25 is when blue spawns. That means at 2:30, I should expect something to ping this ward if there was a chance of a level 2 gank here. And it's the same thing here. This is why in dual lane, one of the most important wards is at a minute 47, you put a ward here in dual lane, right here in this entrance. And like I said, right here for mid. You put those two wards down, the jungler is only going to be able to gank you from here, right? And this is the same thing if this is off lane for you. Of course, off lane is going to be in a different state in this type of game, but he's not going to necessarily get punished because a blue buff is here. So I don't have to worry about a ward necessarily. It's a low chance of really getting invades now even, right? So that's a thing to consider. So just a summary on what I like to do. After the first wave around a minute 45, I like to ward 2 camp, but be warned. People are countering this and may try to gank you at times. I have recently moved to being selfish warding close to the 2 buff, but not on top of it because all I care about is knowing if I can get that river buff. If I know the jungler is aggro, I try to prioritize getting the opposite river buff even when I have to fight the mid laner. You can also ignore it too, and that's fine. And that's the same thing. When I play mid, I will try to hover over the right side here in the beginning because I am expecting that. I am expecting a red start. Hence why I always try to ward in the back line sometimes if I feel like I'm going to get camped or if I know the jungler, right? But this is the most important ward, is knowing that this ward and this ward is super important early game, wherever the red side start is, because that's going to tell you if he's going to go in for an invade into our jungler, an invade into river buff, or any type of ganks. So that's something to consider. All right. Um, so once that kind of happens, like there's gonna be chances of ganks and whatnot. And if you don't see anything, you have a pretty nice clarity that he's gonna be at blue buff. So then as a mid laner, you're gonna try to prioritize yourself to the left side around this time. So after about 2 minutes 35 seconds with your ward vision there, right? You should be pretty clear at 3 minutes and 11 if you haven't had any pings here telling you that the crunch is here. If this ward is gone and destroyed, I would avoid that and stay and focus on getting the opposite river buff, right? All right, so right now he's starting off as blue side. Let's focus on the crunch more so, right? Even our Quang is very slow and clear. He started about 2 minutes and 35 seconds. If we go by the minute, let's try to look and see. Hopefully, he does a full clear for our purpose, right? Let's say he's gonna do a full clear. So that was 235. So we expect it at 140. 340 for basically close to a full clear. He's also gonna be faster in terms of taking damage. He has a red buff. So look, he's taking that too. So we just want to be able to understand and see what we're getting here. So he actually didn't take threes. He went for a gank. So he did do a rotation. I think our Several got the kill, or the Several got the kill on him, and he's gonna stay here. So it's around that time. It's about a minute in terms of a full clear, I would say, in terms of doing a clear here. So if you still haven't seen him on the map and he's doing a full clear, you need to pay attention to that, right? It's just to get a better understanding of what the jungler and your timing is as a mid laner, as a dual laner, and all that. Right now, dual lane should be putting a lot of pressure overall, especially after seeing the gank onto the right side. People need to realize that and position themselves accordingly. When you see a jungler off into a different location, that's when you want to kind of look into getting a little bit more aggressive. You can go look for farm easier because the jungler should be the reason you get a kill or die, not necessarily the laner. You shouldn't give laning should be laning. It should be trying to punish the laner from getting stuff, but it should be pretty. It should be a pretty passive lane overall, especially with how the game is done and where the jungler location is. All right. So the next step right now, right? Jungler in reality is going to be here till then. We are not going to see a spawn. So it takes 4 minutes for the big camps to spawn. All right. That's what we want to prioritize. So the second buff is going to spawn around 5 minutes 47 seconds. At 5 minutes 47 seconds, that's when we're going to see, it's going to be similar to a repeat. You expect him to be on the left side. You're going to expect the jungler to be next to red buff around 5 minutes and 47 seconds. In this case, that means the offlaner let's speed it up here so we can get there. So I know this crunch did a mistake, but once again, right, this is kind of the whole point. You want to just focus in on this. He's probably going to have to take this entire time, spending time here to
Allied
take the
tower
buffs.
under
And
attack.
then, okay, so he went back to his twos. Did he even take his threes? He didn't.
Allied
So
tower
that's kind of
under
weird, but I guess he's
attack.
trying to come back. He's not even gonna. This is really weird because now he missed his threes and now he has nothing to do but look for a gank. So he's gonna waste some time ganking here. But this is one of the important things is that when you also know that Crunch, for example, right? When you know that he is in right lane, you can have a support. You guys a mid laner. When you know he's in different positions, you can come up and look at the jungle. All you got to do is get a timer. Knowing the timer on the mini map is going to tell you when he's going to be back there and when you should be prepared. So when you know there's 30 seconds, you know that he's going to come soon. When you know it's over a minute, you know he's probably on the other side. When you know it was just taken, you got to be careful and back off, right? So that's kind of one thing in terms of the jungle, and that's early game. Early game is very important. From this point on, right, it can get pretty wild. So it's 5 minutes and 47 seconds. His red buff's about to come in, right, and he's not even there. So now so in terms of the low elo, right? This is something that is a little bit
Enemy has
interesting to see where
destroyed
it's
the
off, but this guy, this crunch is throwing some pretty predictable stuff. You're very easily able to see him on the map. This allows the jungler himself, if he wants to go and look for some invades too. Even Quang positioned properly for relatively properly to come and get red buff, right? But that's kind of how it is. Like as a mid laner, the timing and all that stuff, right? How the jungler's gonna rotate, it kind of shows you like how aggressive is that jungler gonna be and how is he gonna rotate to you. Because being in the mid lane, you have both sides to get pressured from, right? If he's in blue or red, there's no matter what, there's gonna be a weight on you, right? While in your left lane, once you know the jungler is on right, you're pretty you can be aggro. You just have to watch out for mid on the map, and most likely, boom, there he is. Very easy to see. So it's kind of that's basically what it is. So it's very important that as the game excels, right, and you get stronger and all that stuff, you want to pay attention to the jungle rotations and you want to try to get camp timers, as that is very important. That's what's gonna make you. That's gonna differentiate you a lot compared to the other player, right? They're leaving, a lot of them could be leaving mistakes there, and you can punish that. You can punish the timer, punish how you're positioning yourself in lane, right? Early game, you want to stay on the right for a bit, then you want to move to the left, and if you feel worried, you can put a ward in the back too, right? As this is probably the place they're going to gank you the most from this location or coming from here. It is very rare as a mid laner to see ganks and anything from here. You really only get that in high tier play because they come in and invade the two camp. The two camp is one of the most popular camps to invade in high tier play and just in general. And it should always be prioritized as it is a very high XP farm, very easy to take, and it has solid escapes. It's very, very easy to escape overall. So it can be tough for a mid laner. So that's it that I wanted to kind of share from a mid lane perspective. Even if these junglers not necessarily portraying what I'm expecting, it's something to kind of keep in mind, and that way you're able to pressure and position yourself properly. That's one of the biggest things that I'm noticing people do wrong is position. They're not positioning properly and doing the things that are used to mitigate the situation, to be able to put pressure, to be able to farm, to be able to play comfortably. So let me know what you guys think if you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll try to get some more videos out. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And I do stream multi-stream on Twitch and YouTube. So I'll see you there. Have a good one. Good luck in your games, and I'll catch you later. Peace.